Hi everyone. I haven't made videos the last few months. I've been busy finishing my book, EMDR with Complex Trauma. As I take a step back from it, I'm realizing that what a lot of the book is about is a reminder of many of the things that you already knew about working with clients with complex trauma. As you may have heard me say elsewhere, EMDR is not a magic wand. But something happens in EMDR foundational trainings that confuses some people, including people who knew very clearly what complex trauma is because they've spent hundreds or thousands or tens of thousands of hours with clients with complex trauma. So, of all the people in the world, community mental health therapists know what complex trauma is. We learned more about it in the first few weeks of our internships with this population than most people will ever learn. Many of us have spent more face-to-face time with people with complex trauma than we've spent with our own children, partners, or with any other single thing in the whole world. And somehow we leave EMDR trainings having fallen for a version of ease. Nothing is easy with clients with complex trauma. You already knew that. Nothing makes complex trauma brief. You already knew that. Working with clients with complex trauma is almost always hard, and you already knew that. EMDR therapy is an effective way to work once the needed things are in place, but in no universe are we using words like brief, easy, or magic with clients with complex trauma. And just to review, what are the things that need to be in place before we can start the work of recovery in EMDR therapy? Clients have to have the ability to regulate. They have to have a brake pedal. They have to have the ability to activate a difficult memory or a piece of a memory, but not overactivate. They have to have the ability to slow down when so much of their survival has been built around staying ahead of it. They have to be present in their own body and in the present moment. And they have to notice, have to have the ability to notice what comes as a result of that activation and do all this while we're getting our left-right stimulation. Preparing clients to do these things before we can do any of the actual work is usually really, really hard. And it takes a good chunk of time. And if you can do all of this, you can adequately prepare clients for the EMDR journey. What happens in EMDR therapy every time that it is effective is that stuck information that is inside you can connect to other more adaptive information that is already inside you. And all of this works only if you have enough of the needed adaptive information. People with complex trauma, it's one of the things that I think just should be a part of the definition of what complex trauma is they don't have a lot of the needed adaptive information. They were too busy surviving to develop it. And all I'm going to say is you already knew this. EMDR doesn't change that. Okay. So we have to help clients develop the needed adaptive information when they don't have enough of it. And that work is slow. It's almost always slow. It's slow, and I'm seeing the client 1 hour in a week. There are 168 hours in a week, and I'm seeing the client at most for one of those. And once we're working, what are we going to need to work on? We're going to need to work on everything. How old is your client? 46? How many of those years around the clock has their nervous system been in survival mode? I'm guessing most of them. If you're seeing a client 1 hour and 168, and I'm telling you, it's probably going to take several years of focused work for this client's nervous system to mostly reset. And that's if the client is doing amazing reprocessing session, session after session. It's going to take a couple of years. And when I say that, often I see my consultees deflate a little bit. But here's the good news. In fact, understanding this is how we're going to rescue ourselves as a species. And it's how you and I might be able to have the career that we actually want to inhabit. Okay. We need to understand what this learning is. All of the learning in childhood from all of the things that happened and all of the things that didn't is deeply and redundantly placed. Yes, and it was reinforced in later in bad marriages and every other form of subsequent adversity that a human can possibly experience. The trauma we're working with is redundantly replaced and repeatedly reinforced. Learning of that type is not meant to be changed easily. It's the learning that allowed them to survive. It's salient and it's in the marrow. Clients have been in their trauma 24/7 for decades, reliving it, recreating it, killing off to try to avoid it, even while sleeping in the same bed and in the same head with it. And what do we do with that client with a complexly traumatized nervous system across, say, 46 years? Do you know what 24 times 7 times 52 times 46 is? It's over 400,000 hours of life of learning. So what are we going to do? We're going to see this client for about an hour a week. And if you get to see them for about 3 years and you can get them started, get them processing, you can largely reset their nervous system. And when you do that, do you know how much time you've actually spent with this client across those 3 years? Their whole recovery has taken less than the hours in 1 week in their whole life. The idea that clients can reset 400,000 hours of difficulty and wounding in a single human week is itself remarkable, and it's a testament not only to the amazing ability of the nervous system, but it's a testament to the good work that you might be able to do. If we can see it, plan to do it well, and do it. That's what I mean when I say EMDR therapy is an effective and efficient way to work. There's really good news here. In less than 1 week of actual time, many clients whose lives have been defined by wounding can redefine. And with their unburdened nervous system, they can go out into the world and figure out who they are, what they're worth, and how they deserve to be treated. Spread over years, it doesn't feel brief or effective or like magic. Rewind to what you knew before you fell for the idea that EMDR is a magic wand. There's magic in it. It's just not what you thought with clients with complex trauma. I'm trying to help you find it so that you don't give up or you don't die on the wrong hills. Everything that you already knew about working with clients with complex trauma will make you a better EMDR therapist. Let what you know about this population shape how you do EMDR therapy. EMDR is not a machine. We're not in the business of cramming people into machines. And I really think we need to stop selling ease because people hear the wrong things. We hear the wrong things. We need to stop selling EMDR therapy as a brief approach to psychotherapy in a world where most of the brokenness is of the complex type. It's brief for healthy people, but any therapy that's any good at all is a brief therapy for healthy people. Most trauma in this world is of the complex type. And you can do EMDR therapy well with clients with complex trauma once you get them started. And getting them started is a whole other bucket of stuff that this book is all about. So Anyway, I wanted to remind you when it really, really feels like you're lost, that in you is a lot of the information that you need to know to work with clients with complex trauma well. We just need to put EMDR into the context that you're already competent and expert in. Thank you.